Hello and welcome to Alternative Radio Cardiff. Today we're here with musician, singer and songwriter Maddie Jones, otherwise known as Maddie. You can see her in the Big Bear Social Club. And today we're actually here with Tom Davis.
Hello.
And Nick Pendry.
What's going on?
How are you, Maddie?
I'm good. Nick's just like a party. He's just arrived.
Oh yeah, I'm eating pizza, I got Corona. No, it's got to treat this fun.
No, not coronavirus, just to be specific.
No, a bottle of Corona. I just had a hard shift delivering pizza. Shut up, man.
Didn't their sales go down, Corona the beer?
I'm not sure. Well, Nick's kept him in business, to be fair. He doesn't stop drinking the
Sure,
stuff.
this is how stupid some people are. The sales of Corona, the beer, went down because people are like, oh, coronavirus.
So you're just supporting a good cause, really, anyway.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guys. So anyway, come on, Maddie. What's happening?
What's happening?
I love your hair.
Thanks, man. I like that. I really like that it goes with the like alt radio Cardiff blue. Goes really nicely. My hair is bright red and pink, listeners. And actually, these bits, you see my undercut there? That was that colour until I shaved it again.
Well, we're going to take a picture later of you next to the sign so they will get to see it.
Who does your hair for you?
Shut up, Vidal Sassoon, boy.
To Slunks in Morgan Arcade. Ty's my guy.
So let's talk music now then, Maddie. So tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you during these strange times and what you've been working on.
These strange times. So I've been basically I sort of write and perform mostly alone, like when I'm recording.
What instruments do you play or write on?
I used to write more on guitar. Now I kind of more synth based. Okay. A lot of I like samples. I like producing all that kind of stuff. But when I play live, at least I was playing with a band. My drummer has been in the Isle of Man. Like all year. Yeah. Well, you know, the Isle of Man is like a little utopia where they don't have the disease.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. They kept that one quiet, didn't they?
No, it's normal in the Isle of Man.
No, I'm going to book my ticket now. Is it? It's like...
Oh, you have to know someone. They won't let you in unless you know someone. Yeah.
I'm going to have to try and find out who I know in the Isle of Man now.
It's like, let me in. No, they're doing gigs and everything.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so my drummer's there.
So we need to smuggle you in, basically, is what you're saying.
Like, let me in. So yeah, this year's basically been me trying to be a band on my own.
So I know I've seen you playing some tracks on YouTube, and I can see you're pretty handy with a keyboard.
It's keyboard and it's Ableton and like sampley things. Bit of a digitac. This is like just proper nerdy naming bits of equipment now.
I don't know what the fuck you talk.
The nerds are all going like, yes, tell me more.
So I want to talk about. I know you won a pretty prestigious award. Not so long ago, it was you won Solo Artist of the Year at the Cardiff Music Awards. So tell us,
very impressive.
Tell us a little bit about that. And
I'm just remembering when it actually happened. I played at the event as well, and I was upstairs in the dressing room. I'd painted like the top half of my face, but not the bottom half. And it was all like shiny and glittery and stuff. And I was like...
Was that deliberate?
Yeah, sort of. It was maybe a bit more than I was planning. Because like you guys probably don't relate to this. But sometimes when I'm like trying to do like crazy stage makeup, it just gets bigger and bigger. So I ended up with just like half face like this. Okay. So I was there kind of like umming and ahhing whether to take it off. And then someone was sent upstairs to get me because I'd won the award.
Oh, amazing! How did you feel when you got the news that you won the award?
It was good, you know, because like sometimes you're just like doing stuff and it feels like you're just sort of flailing around a little.
Underappreciated. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone tells you that it's good and you're like, oh, thanks, man.
Are they having the award ceremony this year, or is it being postponed due to?
They would have normally have had it in March, I think.
Okay, so March wouldn't have been a good time to have it.
So how are you coping in this like stupidly idiotic year? Just writing a lot, or? Yeah,
it's like my brain is kind of split in half. Half of it is like, oh, this is rubbish. I can't do any of the festivals I was meant to be doing or any of that. But then also, like the videos you're talking about that I've been doing, YouTube, Ableton kind of stuff. I wasn't really doing any of that stuff before because I didn't really have the time. Do you know what I mean? To make.
Yeah, it's a good thing in a way. You know, it pushes you into different areas, you know, because I don't do any music online or any videos online. I'm fucking useless at Facebook, and I still haven't done it through lockdown. So, fair play.
I'm going to have to buy you a keyboard, Nick. Oh. You can play it out by the river.
Buy me some work ethic, you know?
Right, so let's talk a little bit about one of the tracks we're going to be playing shortly. Big Heart. So tell us a little bit about Big Heart and what the inspiration was.
Can you just say Big Heart again? Because in your voice it was so nice.
Big Heart.
Yes, mate. I just really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Big Heart. So that came out in January, in the precedented times, like before everything was weird.
The normal times.
The normal times, yeah. It came out, and it's got a video where, the Capital Shopping Centre. This is very Cardiff centric. We're going there.
I used to work in there years ago. Vidal Sassoon back in the day.
Oh, mate. We're talking old school now. But yeah, we made the video in there because there's like this weird bit underneath. Like a big open kind of industrial bit underneath, yeah.
Like the basement part, like where they take all the parcels in and everything like that.
How did you get that?
It's like, it was just empty, and there was like, somebody was letting people use it for, like arty things. We managed to set the fire alarm of the whole Capitol building off twice. Because we had like a big hazer, a big smoke machine down there when we were doing it. Because we were just like, let's have loads of lights and people doing like LED hula hooping and stuff. And we thought we'd just set off the fire alarm for like that bit, but it was the whole building.
It's a pretty cool place to record a video. I know the Beatles have played in the Capitol Centre as well, like right back in the day. Yeah, before it was like the Capitol Centre, it was like a music place. Yeah, so
that's weird. There's one of those like mysterious places up the valleys where I'm from. It was called like the Double Diamond or something. My nan has told me about it, and I'm sure it's real.
Where in the valleys are you from?
I'm from Estrabun.
I'm more north than you. I'm Merthyr Tydfil.
Oh, mate, did my driving test there. That road, whatever that road is, all the tiny little roundabouts and speed bumps and like bottlenecks and stuff, like, I reckon they just made it exclusively just for driving tests, yeah.
Did anyone else help you on the single Big Heart then? Was there a band playing with you on that as well, though?
So that is on there. It's like a mixture of me playing stuff. I'm obviously singing. The guitar is I was going to call him my man friend, my partner, my boyfriend, Daniel Fitzgerald. Who's currently, I can tell you what he's doing right now. He's lying on the sofa, probably with our cat on him. The cat prefers him, and it really annoys me.
How long have you had the cat?
Since January.
You need to find a way to bribe the cat.
I mean, I try.
But cats are fickle.
Yeah, she really is. I think it's because he lies still for longer than I do.
It's like a sloth thing.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, get on your chest, yeah. So he's on it because he's a guitar player and also is into modular synth. We're going even deeper into like geek territory here.
Modular synth.
It's like when you just plug in wires in. It's really stressful to look at.
Do you know much about modular synth, Nick?
Absolutely nothing.
It's scary to look at. But yeah, and then there's a bassist called Shay, my good friend Shay. Drummer who's not actually my drummer anymore, but a guy called Rich Wellesby, and it's co-produced with a lovely man called Charlie Francis, who's like Cardiff producer.
Oh, is he? What does he do now? I know the name Charlie Francis.
Yeah, he produces. Well, not at the moment, obviously, but he's produced loads of people. He did work with like R.E.M., Future of the Left, people like that.
I will have to get him on. Get him on, man. Right, let's play the track, is it?
I'm going to say it for you one more time. Big Heart.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, ARC FM.
Just get past the door. say I love too much. I play my own part. I wanna too much, too much, I want too much. I've got a big heart, and I love too much.
So that was Big Heart by Maddie. What a track.
I love that track, Maddie. Fair play to you.
Thanks, man.
Go on, Tom. Go on, Tom.
So I think Nick had a joke he wanted to share.
No.
with us.
While we were off microphone then talking, we went outside for a beer. No, I want to hear the story about you again getting bullied by a bunch of kids on a bench. Go on. No, but how you two met first?
Okay, so me and Maddie actually met through a mutual friend of ours called Gemini, and we were just saying Gemini's basically this big ball of positive energy, isn't she, Maddie?
Yeah, she's like a little fairy, a Californian fairy.
And
No, this is the weird part. You walking through Splot looking for people.
So basically, right, the story goes, I was looking for hair models because I'm a hairdresser, and I was walking through Splot, and I wasn't really expecting to find.
We're going to leave that one then, are we?
I wasn't expecting to find a hair model walking through Splot, I'm going to be honest. But anyway, I was walking down the road and I saw a Gemini, and I was just like, oh my God, she's going to be, like, she's got amazing hair, she's got amazing look. Okay, and I'm going to get to this part. I'm going to get to the part, right? So on this particular day, I was, proper tarted up. I had a pair of tartan trousers on and a turtle neck top, and as I stopped Gemini and I was giving her all my spiel, telling her she'd be an amazing hair model and whatnot, and she and she was like, laughing it up, loving it, saying, I can't wait to be a hair model. And there was these like group of what can only be described as bullies drinking Stella on the street at a corner. And they literally just started ripping the piss out of me about my outfit and what I was wearing. And Gemini, she jumped to my defence, to be fair to her, and that was it. And that's how I met Gemini, and she's been a fantastic friend ever since.
You're getting bullied by a bunch of adolescents, like. And then I come up with the ridiculous joke outside then was what's white, wears tartan trousers and a red scarf. And it's Rupert the fridge. It's just.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, right, let's get back to music.
I mean, we're very lucky today because I know we've got an exclusive today. We're going to be playing one of your new tracks that hasn't been heard by anybody else yet, To the End. So let's hear a little bit about To the End.
To the End. So I've had this, like the recording, ready for ages, but obviously this year has been weird.
Where did you record it? Where?
It's mostly recorded either in my house, so I sort of write and record some stuff at home in my studio, and then I kind of take it over to Charlie Francis's studio in his house, and then we carry on working on it there. And anything like live, like drums, we do a music box. Shout out music box.
I love the music box. Yeah, good guys down there.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had the recording has been done for a while, but then I haven't released it because I was kind of obsessed with the idea of doing a video for it.
Yeah, I listened to that track. It's absolutely brilliant track. So, did you work alongside your boyfriend on that track as well?
He is on it as well. There is a bit of guitar, and I think there's a bit of modular on it as well.
Does it come to the point where you do a track, he's like, oh, can I be on there? or do you need his input?
Well, I'm working on some live things at the moment. I'm going to do a couple of live stream things, like one at Le Pub in December. And I've been working on this, like you said, you've seen the videos of me doing the sort of Ableton kind of set. And he's like, do you want me to play any guitar on it when you go and do that? And I'm like...
Does he get offended if you tell him no?
He just goes, fine. He is a good guitarist, though, fair play.
Well, you've got to say that.
He's not here, I can say what I want.
Tell us a little bit more about how your music journey began, Maddie. How did you first kind of fall into music and things?
Well, the stuff I'm doing now, I started doing in like late 2017, early 2018, I would say, because I used to release music. It was more kind of like band, like I played guitar, and I just did it as Maddie Jones, and then I kind of got to the point where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. So I stopped, and that's when I started producing and stuff. And it got more electronic, more synths, all this kind of stuff. And then I sort of re-emerged as just Maddie, M-A-D-I. Everyone gets confused by it. They're like, what is it, Maddie? Maddie? I'm like, no, it's still just Maddie. It's just spelt differently.
So when you're writing music, kind of what's like inspires you and gets you going when you're like putting a track together?
I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have to be in a certain frame of mind, because naturally you just want to be like, oh no, I'm gonna be struck by the muse today, and I'm gonna like write some amazing music. But obviously you can't make that happen very often.
Do you find there's like a time in the day where you're most like being productive?
Not the morning.
No, I'm useless. I can't get up in the morning. There's a couple of hours of me doing nothing, and then I might just get
a couple of Coronas, do you, before you start writing any song?
6 quarters later, the guitar goes out the fucking window.
You know what I found with like this lockdown weirdness is that I've started working on music more sometimes in the evening, whereas normally I'd work on stuff in the day, and I've started like sitting there. They're like, I've got these tiny little wine glasses in my house. So I'll have a tiny wine. I will end up drinking the bottle, but I'll have a tiny, tiny glass at a time and just sit there working on music with a little glass of wine. I'm just like, oh.
Do you ever do what I like? I sometimes like I'm walking down the street and then like a lyric comes into my head or like a melody. Like, do you ever record stuff on your phone or write stuff on your phone?
Yeah. I did something with Gemini. There's this place outside Cardiff called Coed. It's like a sort of commune type place. And I went there and stayed there for a week with...
I've heard about this place. I've heard about the Coed. Is this a place where the Pixies used to live?
I think so. It's got a stone circle.
So,
and
like, it's like this place is like off the beaten track on the way to Cowbridge, and like I think people kind of live in the forest, and there was like a colony of Pixies who used to live there, or like women who identified as Pixies as from my understanding.
But they all wear tartan trousers and turtlenecks.
Walk around a splot being like... But yeah, we did a thing there because my mum's a painter. So Gemini was like, do you and your mum just want to come and like live in Coed for a week and make art? I was like, yes, I do.
What was it like living in Coed?
It was amazing. There was a fish there.
I was going to say, just a fish.
But we just sort of sat and stared at it for like a minute on the first day, and I was like, Sid Fishes, that's what we're going to call him, Sid Fishes. He was the little mascot for the week.
So were you in what was the living accommodation you had there? Was it like in the middle of the woods kind of thing?
Oh no, we got put up in the nice, I think it's called the Bothy. It's like the nice little cottage. We got like the guest treatment, yeah, it was good. But everyone's got cool little like accommodation they've built themselves.
I need to go there.
It's cool, man. It was really cool. But yeah, I did a lot of walking around there just singing things into my phone. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to get the vibes from like the stone circle.
Yeah, you're quite inspired living with fairies.
I also went round hitting stuff and making it into samples, like drum sounds as well.
I like that.
That was fun. Not anything that I should.
People.
You didn't hit Sid Fishes, did you?
I did not hit Sid Fishes. I was feeding him.
Should we hear this track or?
Right, yeah, let's play it.
I want Maddie to introduce this because it's an exclusive we got going on. So come on, Maddie.
This is out on the 28th of November and it's called To the End.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, ARC FM.
Seems like I never knew you quite the way that I should, and I never thought through from the beginning to the end, from where we started to the end. Oh,
go out of your mind. Your hands are bloody from the search. But what is it you're trying to find? I get so bored of everything. I get so tired of making sense. I know I got to break them down. These walls that I'm thrown up against.
I think I found the truth out. Not quite how I thought I would. Time to close the book now. Though we didn't get to the end. From where we started to the end. Even though we didn't get all the way to the end. From where we started to the end. Oh, I think I'm done here.
So that was To The End by Maddie, and what a track that is.
That is an absolutely brilliant track, that is. I'm going to be playing that all the time. I've listened to it a good few times a day as well.
Rather good. And would you mind if we included that into our new playlist that I'm going to start releasing each month for all the artists for Alternative
Oh
Radio
yeah, I
Cardiff?
would totally mind. Please don't do that.
We're going to make you famous, even more famous than you possibly are now.
By the way, I've tagged out and Josh is tagged in.
Oh,
The
yes.
voice hasn't changed.
He's off.
Your ball's finally dropped, Nick, that's all.
Oh, burn.
Ooh, that was a diss, that was. See, that's what happens when you step away from the mic. You just get burnt. Like.
Can't stick up for yourself anymore.
Right, okay. Anyway, where are the adolescents when you need them? Go on then, so you've got a couple of questions then.
All right, so basically, Maddie, what does the future hold for you? What do you envision yourself doing now over the next couple of months?
I think it's going to be more of the experimenting with the video and like the live stream. We've been doing quite a lot, working that kind of stuff out, doing more with my sort of solo setup, sort of because I have to. But I've always loved doing kind of immersive, like when I was doing live gigs, any that I put on myself, I'd make them as immersive as I could. Like, you know, in the moon landing anniversary thing last year?
Yeah.
We did a thing in Cardiff Museum where we got like a silent disco thing. And we made all the band completely electronic, just through silent disco things. Then people would be coming around just hearing this voice, because obviously my voice was the only thing you could hear, like coming around the corner.
So do you consider like music then as maybe a tune, a sound, or do you consider it as like an art? And I know I kind of almost setting myself up for a question here, but do you consider it as like a more of a performance? Like you know, what could it be? What could that be similar to? Yeah, like Alice Cooper, for instance. You know, when you go and see his music, they're always telling a story. A Meatloaf as well. They're always like telling a story.
I think
it's
got to be like an
performance, isn't it?
experience, yeah. Because obviously I've seen loads of artists on the same bills as me, and I've been to loads of gigs. And you know, when you go to some stuff, and it's just kind of like, we just get up, we'll just play the songs, and then we'll leave. I find that like that's not an
In between bottles of Jack Daniels and things like that from whatever the stories are.
JD's fine, but like I feel like the audience deserves a little bit more than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I like there to be lights and costumes and like madness.
So is there anybody who influences you in your music and things like that?
Bowie. Yeah. You give me the look then, because I said that about that question. I love Bowie.
Well, that's a great inspiration to have. The man's an absolute genius.
Absolute legend.
It was my favourite thing when I did like my sort of, I was going to say my coming out show as Maddie. We did it in club, and we had to like sort of walk about people who had creepy masks on, and they would like shine torches at people, and there were people doing circus stuff, and there was lights and costume and all this kind of stuff. And my friend came up to me and was like, I feel like I've just seen David Bowie. And I was like, you're literally my best friend.
How reliable is that information though in those circumstances? That's what I need to know.
I took it as completely unbiased and
Did you
completely.
see David Bowie in between the dragons?
There's a dragon over there, Bowie's over there, and then you.
And you never catch that dragon.
But yeah, I love there to be like just. Have you ever been to Boomtown?
I haven't, no.
Boomtown's one of my favourite festivals to play. We were meant to be playing it this year, but just the immersiveness, you know, where it's like a whole world and you go into that world for a bit, and there's no such thing as like the real world with like banks and trains and boring stuff. Banks and trains, they're my two examples of boring things.
So, have you played at many other big festivals? Like
Boomtown is like my favourite one. I played a little stage at Glastonbury, like before I was doing my electronic thing. I would like to play, I think like what's it called? The Park. The Park, I think, would be the ideal stage there. Obviously, that's.
And how do you go about getting on these stages? Like, do you just ring up and just say I want to play this stage, or what happens?
Make a pentagram on the floor, and then you sacrifice a small animal, and then
just do a proper Ellen DeGeneres circle. Get all your mates over.
I mean, the answer is
don't tell anybody.
But yeah, I think festivals but like particular kinds of festivals is where I really like being, because everyone's in like a different state, aren't they? Not just a state, you know what I mean?
Not just an absolute state.
They're in an absolute state, but they're also in the state where they're more open.
An altered state, let's call it that.
Altered State Cardiff.
That's the name of my festival I'm going to set up. Altered State. Yeah.
That's it. We're getting the lawyers in. We're getting the lawyers.
Altered Stage Radio Cardiff Festival.
We wouldn't mind. We would affiliate ourselves with you.
Let's do it.
Anyway, I've got some questions. So, what is the ideal situation coming out of all this lockdown where live music has been dead? You've been confined to your bedroom with just you and your brain and a bit of paper, I imagine. What is, if you can imagine an ideal situation, you know, like maybe an explosion back into reality where you get a stage perhaps to I don't know, let loose after all this time perhaps?
Oh, I don't know. I think like what I'm thinking of, at least, you know, like when you're allowed out now. After you've been like locked up.
If you've been behaved.
When you've been good and you're allowed out.
If Boris says you've been a good boy or girl.
All your chores, like, right, you go to the pub, but only till 10.
You'll be on the naughty list otherwise, Joshy.
But you know, like, the way, like, I'm really hoping that everyone's just going to be like fully, just absolutely gagging for live shows and really, really up for it. And really, because, you know, like, sometimes it can be hard when you're putting on shows and promoting them and stuff to get people to like, give a shit. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to go off, isn't it? Like the first...
Yeah, I think it is.
So you would jump at a chance for a live run out, basically?
Yeah, everyone's going to be up for it. Like the performers are up for it, the venues are up for it, the promoters, the audience are just going to be like, ah!
Okay, good. Well, I mean, that is ideal. So what we'll end up doing is we're going to get you live musicians out there that have been all cooped up for so long. We're going to get your original music. We're not going to ask you to go off and play all the stuff that crowd pleases, because I think once in the right environment with the right platform, that is a time.
I've just pictured like a big LED cage on the stage, and we all come out of the cage. I'm just imagining things now.
Pass me that pen and paper. Keep talking. keep talking. Keep talking.
Altered State Cardiff.
Big LED cage.
Yeah, I'm writing it all down now. Okay, yeah. David Bowie, In Between the Dragons, is on the list.
Well, thank you so much, Maddie, for coming on the
My
show.
pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Maddie.
I'm dropping the exclusive. Boom.
Nick, you going to come and say goodbye?
He's being the photographer over there.
Well, so it's goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me as well.
Goodbye.
And it's ta-ra from me.